The voters and voter polls showed it, but the fake news media wasn't giving the credit that was due. Wow. Remember, I wasn't debating one person, I was debating three. They should fire everybody at ABC Fake News. According to Rolling Stone, members of Trump's inner circle think another debate would be a bad idea. They say his performance was so disappointing, he doesn't know whether to call it Eric or Don Jr. at this point. The Tan Andreas fault, our former president, Donald Trump, is cracking under pressure. His tectonic plates are moving a lot lately.
Ever seen a grown man throw a tantrum over a joke? Well, buckle up, because Trump's latest meltdown is a doozy. Jimmy Kimmel's been poking fun at Melania's absence, and boy oh boy, did it set off a fireworks show in Trump's brain. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. We're talking name-calling, wild accusations, and the kind of behavior that'd make a toddler say, "Dude, chill." But here's the kicker. The more Trump loses it, the funnier Kimmel gets. It's like watching a comedy roast where one guy forgot it was all in good fun. Picture this. Trump waltzes into a grocery store, looking about as comfortable as a fish on a bicycle. You'd think he was prepping for a game show appearance, the way he starts rattling off prices. But hold on to your shopping carts, folks, because these numbers are wilder than a roller coaster ride through a tornado. Our former president, in all his orange glory, declares that a gallon of milk now costs a whopping $50.
If you won't feel an earthquake if you're wearing Crocs. They act as a shock absorber, and you're totally safe if you wear them. That's true. I learned that from J.D. Vance. According to Rolling Stone, members of Trump's inner circle think another debate would be a bad idea. They say his performance was so disappointing, he doesn't know whether to call it Eric or Don Jr. at this point. It was 3-against-1. Trump got humiliated by Kamala, the moderators, and by himself, primarily.
Yep, you heard that right. $50 for some cow juice. And bread. Oh, that'll set you back $30 a loaf. At this rate, a sandwich might just bankrupt you. Now, real economists are scratching their heads so hard they might need hair plugs. One expert quipped that Trump's grocery list sounds more like a luxury car catalog than actual food prices. Maybe he thinks we're all eating gold-plated toast for breakfast. But wait, there's more. While Trump's spinning this tall tale of grocery store horror, the rest of us are living in a world where milk actually costs about $3.50 a gallon, and bread is around $2.50 a loaf. Talk about alternative facts. So why is Grumpy Trumpy on this strange grocery adventure? Well, it seems our favorite Mar-a-Lago resident is trying to pin the blame on Biden for these sky-high prices. You know, the ones he just made up in his head. It's like blaming your dog for eating your homework when you don't even have a dog. The Biden camp and economic experts are rolling their eyes so hard they might see their own brains. They're pointing out that not only are Trump's claims more inflated than his ego, but they're also trying to distract from the fact that inflation is actually lower now than it has been in years. But hey, why let pesky things like facts get in the way of a good rant, right? As Trump continues his crusade against reality in the produce aisle, we're left wondering, is this a political strategy or the world's weirdest episode of Supermarket Sweep? And just when you thought the grocery drama couldn't get any juicier, we're about to swap the fruit aisle for Tinseltown. Buckle up, Buttercup, because this feud is about to go Hollywood. Remember when presidents used to focus on, actual important stuff? Well, forget that. Trump's got a new nemesis, and it's not a world leader or a political rival. It's a guy who tells jokes for a living. What could possibly make the Donald lose his cool over a late-night host?
But wait, what happened to this guy?
Anytime, anywhere, anyplace.
Somehow he went from anytime, anywhere, any place to there will be no third debate. I guess when you eat as many buckets of chicken as Donald Trump does, eventually you turn into one. The voters and voter polls showed it, but the fake news media wasn't giving the credit that was due. Wow. Remember, I wasn't debating one person, I was debating three. They should fire everybody at ABC Fake News.
Enter Jimmy Kimmel, the comedian who's been living rent-free in Trump's head. Kimmel hit Trump where it hurts, comparing him to a chimp in a Jane Goodall study. He quipped, "In many ways, I feel like I've been doing similar work over the past 8 years observing Donald Trump." Ouch, that's gotta sting for a guy who thinks he's the smartest person in every room. Trump, being Trump, couldn't let it slide. He started obsessing over Kimmel like a teenager with a crush. But instead of writing Kimmel's name in hearts, Trump's been scribbling insults in his diary. At rallies, he's been calling Kimmel the worst Oscar host. Really, Donald? With all the problems in the world, you're worried about Oscar hosts? Trump's team tried to spin his outbursts as jokes, but they failed harder than Trump's stakes. It's like watching your dad try to be cool at a school dance, painfully awkward and making everyone uncomfortable. Kimmel, being the comedy pro he is, saw an opportunity and ran with it. He offered to send Trump merch commemorating the Oscar joke. It's like sending a participation trophy to the kid who lost the spelling bee. Savage, but hilarious. But wait, there's more. Kimmel didn't stop at Trump. He took aim at Melania too, joking that she might be putting up her Christmas decorations or had crying in the dark scheduled for this morning instead.
Dodging a debate makes him look like the coward that he is. And she challenged him to another one immediately. He wants no part of it. Kamala should focus on what she should have done during the last almost 4-year period. There will be no third debate. Still trying to convince the MAGAverse that he didn't blow it on Tuesday night against Kamala Harris, even though he is clearly terrified of facing her again. Nice, even for a few seconds, to be rattled by something other than the election this morning.
Looks like the entire Trump household is getting roasted, and it's not even Thanksgiving. The best part, Trump's fixation on Kimmel is turning into comedy gold for late-night TV. It's like Trump's handing out free material faster than he hands out pardons. Even Kimmel's wife is getting in on the fun, turning the Trump-Kimmel feud into a family affair. As this political comedy circus keeps rolling, we're left wondering, how will Trump respond to Kimmel's latest jabs? Will he tweet? Will he rant? Or will he finally learn to take a joke? Stay tuned, folks. This feud is getting hotter than Trump's fake tan, and we're all here for it. Well, folks, it looks like Trump's turned himself into his own personal comedy piñata. Every time he swings at Kimmel, he just ends up hitting himself. Who knew a guy with such a big ego could be so thin-skinned?
The Tan Andreas fault, our former president Donald Trump, is cracking under pressure. His tectonic plates are moving a lot lately. When a prize fighter loses a fight, the first words out of his mouth are, "I want a rematch." Polls clearly show that I won the debate against comrade Kamala Harris. Trump had a spin out last night on his website, Pravda Social. He wrote, "People are just starting to give me credit for having a great debate."
Trump's inability to laugh at himself might just be his kryptonite. It's like he's allergic to jokes. Break out the EpiPen. Politics is a tough game, and if you can't take a little ribbing, you're in for a rough ride. Meanwhile, Kimmel and his late-night buddies are having a field day. As long as Trump keeps throwing tantrums, they'll keep serving up the jokes. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of comedy material. Trump thought he was playing 4D chess, but it turns out he's just the punchline in a game of comedic checkers. So, what's the moral of this story? Maybe it's that if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the comedy kitchen. Or perhaps it's simply that laughter is the best medicine, unless you're Trump, in which case it might be your political poison.